the ride.
And we are live. Greetings to our loyal WFYL listeners around the world. Welcome back to your Philadelphia live stream, only on the Freedom Station. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in once again, because you still have the right to hear and the right to be heard. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mike G. As always, with me are Philly Chris, Russ, the producer, and Liberty Lee. And you're listening to Mike G in the Morning with The Law Matters. And you can listen to our program every Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern, only on the Freedom Station, WFYL. So let's be heard. I want to remind our listeners that you can participate in the free and open exchange of thoughts and ideas throughout the entire week by visiting MikeGinTheMorning.com. What's it called, Philly Chris?
MikeGinTheMorning.com.
How about you, Russ?
MikeGinTheMorning.com.
Liberty?
MikeGinTheMorning.com.
So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your barber, tell your Uncle Jerry, tell anybody to listen. Check us out at MikeGinTheMorning.com. I also want to remind our listeners about the powerhouse lineup we've got here at the Freedom Station. Kick off your mornings with Scott Adams, bring you the Scott Adams Show, weekdays from 9 a.m. until 11. We've got the Kinetic Faith, featuring friend of the Mike G in the Morning program, Rick Crump, reaching value, service, and order, coming at you weekdays at 11 a.m. We've got the one, the only, Dan the Man Bongino, coming at you weekdays from noon until 3 p.m. Intellectual giant, the headliner, Ben Shapiro, coming at you weekdays from 3 to 5 p.m. And finally, we've got Michael Knowles, bringing you the Michael Knowles Show, weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. So don't forget to tune in and show him some love. And with that, you know what time it is. Buckle up and enjoy the ride. Hit it, Russ.
You know what time it is. Buckle up and enjoy the ride.
We have had quite the week in the news. I understand we're dealing with a short week this week. Whole lot going on. Spent a long day in court today, and I'm glad that everybody's here to join us. And, you know, we were supposed to have a guest coming on the program, Timmy from Tulsa. Had to bow out at the last moment. Hope he's doing okay. If he can pop on, I'm sure he will. But it's not looking good. But we've got a whole lot to talk about in terms of the news anyhow. It seems that the world is falling apart around us, isn't it, Chris?
Nothing new to see here, right? You know, welcome to 2022.
I want to remind our listeners who are participating in the live stream, our call-in number here is 484-429-9110. That's 484-429-9110. Give us a call and tell us what is on your mind. Interesting fights this weekend, huh, Philly Chris?
Oh, they were quite interesting. That was fun. Thank you again for hosting a wonderful time, Michael, as always.
Somebody called me to talk about the fights this morning, asked me if I saw the fights. We were talking about that second to last fight between the women. And I said, I'll tell you what. I had my buddy come on over. He doesn't typically watch the fights. He said he'd come on over to watch the Tyson Fury fight. And, of course, that was exciting. And so I said, come on over to watch the UFC. And I said, man, I'm telling you, this second to last fight, it's going to be an absolute barn burner. You got Thug Rose fighting. And I don't know that I've ever seen a boring women's fight ever. Chris, you're going to love this. And we sit there and they played patty cake for 25 minutes in a row. And the commentators are talking about how this might be the worst fight of all time.
I'm not sure it was even a fight. Can you define it as a fight?
And Joe Rogan even mentioned something about it. He said, imagine if you had a buddy come on over and who doesn't watch the fights. And you told them, hey, wait till you see this one. It's going to be amazing. And they end up watching this. Right. And I said, I'm living that scenario right now. It's like your skin is crawling too. Because I've tried to get so many people into the sport over the years. It's fun to have people who will watch it with you. They're interested.
Yeah.
So when you got a buddy and you're
enjoy
like, oh, check this out, you might like it, and you bring them to one that's terrible. There was a fight like that years ago. One of my good buddies from college, Steve, he had not really followed the fights all that much, and we went out to the Fire Lake Grand Casino in Oklahoma. We got a few cigars.
Oh, cool.
And you're going to love this. This is great. Anderson Silva's fighting. He's one of the best fighters of all time. And he goes in there, and it's one of the fights they were talking about when they're talking about, hey, these are the worst ones leading up to this. Do you remember that, Chris, where at one point the commentators were just discussing some of the worst fights in history?
Yeah.
In the middle of that fight, because nothing was going on. In the middle of that fight, they're saying, how does this rank in terms of Derek Lewis versus Francis Ngannou, or this one and that one? And one of the ones they talked about was Anderson Silva and Damian Maia, because Silva in the last, I think, 3 rounds was sort of just dancing around and not doing anything and pointing to the middle of the octagon and showboating and everything, trying to get Maia to come fight him. And that was the fight that I brought Steve to introduce him to the fight. So I've got a really horrible track record with this. But fortunately, I figured out the strategy, and going into the final fight of the evening, I said to Chris, hey, this fight is going to be so boring. It's going to be awful.
Right.
It's going to be so miserably boring. And it was a very exciting fight. It didn't last very long. It was finished fairly quickly, but it was a very exciting fight. So that's the new strategy if you're bringing in somebody new. And fortunately, Steve liked enough of what he saw that he still watches the fights to this day. And he lives in California, and we text back and forth during the fights typically. And we'll talk a little bit after the fact. We actually talked about at some point maybe doing some kind of a show or a podcast where after the fights we hop on and talk about all that stuff. Or maybe just sports in general. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, sure.
Like maybe we could even do it as a spin-off of the Mike G in the Morning program where we hop on and we talk about that stuff after the fact.
That'd be cool.
Only problem is they finish so late, right?
It goes pretty late. Yeah. But maybe people are still up and amped up and would love to hear you talk about it, you know? Never know.
Or they could always catch it the next day, I guess.
That's true. I'm still waiting for you and Russ to get in the ring. We have a date for that yet, or?
The ring or the octagon? Or
the octagon or
the cage?
Both, maybe. Yeah, the cage. I'll build a cage for you guys to get in. Perfect.
Yeah. I want this so bad, this fight, that I was literally looking up like sanction requirements and like how to not get Russ hurt, or, you know, not just saying Russ is going to get hurt, but like how to like do this. Like, I just don't think it's going to happen, guys. I don't know.
Gotta figure it out.
It would be a lot simpler if we just sat down and played Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that was Russ's
or
response.
NBA Jam.
But even like with WWE, or I think Chris, didn't you do something like that or something? And Mike knows a lot about it too. Well, Mike does, you know.
Yeah, we did
arts. But like, you can still get it really hurt with WWE stunts or WWF stunts, right? So like.
Sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. No, those guys are in good shape for a reason. It's not easy to fake it too, you know.
There's a pay-per-view on Sunday night for that too.
Oh, is there?
There was.
Oh, okay.
Action-packed weekend.
Nice.
So, Chris, you were saying that you like that video that you showed us the one time, but like you said, somebody got hurt. Right?
A few years later, somebody did end up getting hurt, and then they kind of stopped it, you know, because you know how the insurance companies are and lawyers and everything these days. So you have to be careful, but more insurance. But instead of WrestleMania, we did Dakota Mania. So camp there. But yeah, we trained and all that. It was fun. Good times. Entertain the kids. We did it for the kids. Think of the children.
Wow. Yeah, we don't want Russ getting hurt. I don't know.
No. Don't want anybody getting hurt.
Nobody wants to see a fat guy cry.
Yeah, definitely.
Russ, you're talking about Mortal Kombat. There's a documentary on, I think it's Netflix right now, about how that game came to be.
Yeah.
And started out with Street Fighter. And then I guess these folks saw that and wanted to make it better. And they came out with Mortal Kombat. And then the government tried to get involved.
Oh yeah,
I think that's how we ended up with the rating system ultimately.
Well, we ended up with the rating system because it was in the arcades, and anybody could just walk up, put in a quarter, and start playing this bloody game that it strived to be the bloodiest game of all time, and it holds up today.
Mm-hmm.
And so the government tried to get involved, and Sega's like, okay, well, we'll rate our own games. And so there was a rating system for that. Nintendo didn't want that game on their system, so they said that game will never be on our system. You don't have to worry about a rating system. But then, ultimately there was a rating system that was universally accepted, called the ESRB. I don't know what it stands for, but it's on every video game package to this day.
The ESRB.
Yes.
I will let you guess. Who do you think it was in terms of political parties who were trying to get Mortal Kombat off the shelves?
Honestly, I have no idea, because the same set of people tried to say that Pac-Man was violent and Mario was violent. They just wanted to say that everything was violent. And
Three Stooges.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was very scarred by Pac-Man.
And yeah. Mrs. Pac-Man gave me nightmares.
Right.
I'm gonna guess it was the Snowflake Party that tried to do this.
I'm going to say it was the other side. I'm going to say it's the right for some reason.
Liberty, you there?
Liberty left. I'm not sure why.
Liberty's gone?
Liberty's a
I'm
beast.
here.
Oh, okay.
Liberty, who do you think tried to get Mortal Kombat off the shelves? Was it the Republicans or the Democrats?
Huh.
They've got quite the conundrum.
Uh-huh.
Republicans were the ones trying to get the bat, I don't want to say Mortal Kombat, but the one we were talking about last week with the what's it called, Russ? The one with the punching and the stealing cars, Grand Theft
Auto. No, that came after.
I think there's a community of Republicans or conservatives who are concerned about, that type of thing. I mean, I get conservatives and libertarians are more for freedom, but choice and the parents' choice. But I think there was something to it. I remember with them thinking that was too much for a certain age, if I recall.
Well, it's hard to say, because the parents also prove that they kind of suck at being parents anyway, because they walk into they walk into GameStop, or they hand in the age of digital, they hand their kids their credit card.
This game called Mortal Kombat and purchase it for my 7-year-old.
I want to buy this game for my 7-year-old that's named after an actual crime. It's called Grand Theft Auto. It says M17 and up. On the box, it listed, drugs, blood, violence, bad lyrics, I guess.
Well,
and,
also in line with, that dad who got really mad and ran over his kids' video games. I think that's more the conservative thing to do, is get your butt outside and get some fresh air. So I think
with the mower, the guy that mowed down his kids. Did we play that on the air? We should play that. That's pretty.
There was also a dad that shot his daughter's laptop.
I remember that.
Yeah. Those were more conservatives, because I think they, didn't really understand the whole video game thing, and it's kind of a, what are you guys doing?
They're old people.
Fresh air. So.
Well, there's a difference between go out there and get some fresh air, do something better with your time than spend playing video games. And hey, we don't want anybody to be able to play this video game, no matter who you are. I mean, to take it off the shelves, that means that somebody who's successful, somebody who's retired, and had a successful career and literally can do whatever they want with their time, whether it's playing golf or playing Mortal Kombat, can't play Mortal Kombat because some Democrat in Iowa said no. I guess I spoiled it. I don't claim to know all the ins and outs about the situation, but in the documentary, every politician they showed who was complaining about it was Democrat.
Okay.
Did they say why?
Yeah.
What was their reason? Was it after some kind of bad school event?
I don't believe that was the case.
They just felt like complaining about violent video games because they're like, my kid plays Nintendo.
No, they said the children are seeing this and it's a bad example, which again takes their responsibility off of the parents and puts it on the government, right? If the government doesn't get involved, there's no way that these kids will be raised correctly. And we wonder why they think that they know everything and they can come to schools and make decisions for the children without informing the parents, because they know what's better for the child and the parents. It's for the child's well-being that they're hiding certain things from the parents. It's no wonder. where after all these years, people have entrusted the government to take on that role that never belonged in their hands in the first place.
Right.
But I digress. It was the Democrats. It was the Democrats.
It was.
To play a game show, that would be fun. Like, Democrats or Republicans, who did it? Who said it?
We got a primary coming up next week, don't we?
Think so. Something like
Who
that.
will be the Republican
Probably.
candidate for governor?
Interesting.
I just saw the is that between McCormick, Oz, and Kathy?
No, that's
That
Senate.
would be the Senate.
Oh, I just saw the polls on that.
Who's in the lead?
It looked like Oz was in the lead, and then McCormick was falling behind, and Kathy was last. That's the last
really?
poll on Fox News.
Yeah.
Well, Oz has such name recognition. It's hard to beat that, because people sometimes just walk into those booths and pick the name that they recognize.
Hey, I heard of Dr. Oz. He's a doctor.
Right. Yeah, there you go.
Well, and also he's been boosted by getting Trump's endorsement, which I don't know if he would be in the same position if it was based on just name recognition alone.
Sure.
It's a very tight race, so there's definitely, so don't let that sway you if you still haven't voted. It definitely looks like
people are real concerned about gun rights in terms of Dr. Oz.
Right.
Oh yeah, I received a poster in the mail about saying straight up against guns or something like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, there was some reports of that.
Yeah, well.
Who do you like, Russ?
Well, if the reports of Dr. Oz being spineless on gun stuff is true, then Trump needs to get his head out of his butt and endorse Kathy.
Yeah. You got to be on Team Kathy, no?
Yeah.
Got to be. I like Kathy.
Dave McCormick has come out in support of the Second Amendment.
That's a good choice.
What about for Senate? No, we said for Senate. What about for governor?
I kind of like Mastriano, but there's some things I heard about him that I need to research a little bit more. But
Charlie's going to come back on this program and kick your butt.
Well, and of course, Charlie. But early on though, I was looking at Mastriano as a potential candidate there. Yeah. What do you think, Mike?
Barletta has said a lot of things pro Second Amendment. Mastriano, obviously, I believe he's endorsed by Gun Owners America, and Dr. Val actually spoke at the event where Doug announced.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. All right.
You've got McSwain, who's running, former U.S. attorney. Charlie Giroux.
Had him on the program. Was that last week or the week before? Right, the week before, right?
Something like
2 weeks
that.
ago. Didn't get a chance to check that out.
There are quite a few.
Yeah.
On the Democrat side, I mean, Shapiro's just running away with it, right?
Are we even opposed by the Democrat side? Do they even have the gumption to run? Because Wolf can't run again.
Yeah, but I mean, Shapiro, they're thinking it's going to be his coronation, essentially. So you got that side. And on the Democrat side for Senate, you've got Fetterman. Fetterman's going to be a problem for Republicans. You can mark my words on that.
Okay. Mark that down. I'm going to write it up.
Does anybody know anything about him?
I don't.
Not a lot.
I haven't really looked into these people.
Lieutenant governor. Anybody get to watch the debates for the Republican primary on the governor's side?
No.
I'm going to have to go check it out. I haven't seen it yet. No.
Oh.
A little bit behind.
It's only Tuesday.
But
Yeah.
Fetterman said he's
Only Tuesday.
lieutenant governor. He heads up the board of pardons. And he had that situation where I believe when he was mayor, there was some kind of an ongoing critical incident crisis situation. And he threw a shotgun in his truck and went and chased after the guy or something.
Oh,
like
yeah?
that.
Okay.
Yeah. So he doesn't seem to be anti-gun, although he's Democrat.
Well,
when it's his gun, he's okay with it. You're saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see how he treats that, because I've certainly heard him say things as lieutenant governor that wouldn't seem like your typical run-of-the-mill Democrat anti-gun sort of thing.
Do you think
But
he's a mole?
comes off as
A mole.
well, no, because there are several
like a
other
squirrel.
political issues, and the other political issues that you deal with. I don't know that I can think of many that he and I would agree upon.
Right.
But he comes off as sort of regular guy kind of thing. Like if you threw in that kind of guy at a Trump rally, he'd fit right in with a lot of these people. So that's why I'm saying he's going to be a problem for Republicans in that race.
Gotcha.
Hardworking people, the regular guy, I think he comes off as relatable. Now, all that being said, dude went to Harvard. Never wears a suit anywhere or anything like that. You know who I'm talking about? Big bald guy, goatee and tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think
Harley.
I think they're gonna have problems winning that seat, the Republicans.
It will be interesting. Yeah. A lot going on.
Do you think it'd be possible to get a mole in on the Democrat Party? Have a conservative just run as a Democrat, and all the people.
Didn't Pastor Whitney run as a Democrat?
I think he
Showed up
did.
at people's doors and he said, "Hey, I'm running as a Democrat. I'm pro-life. I'm pro-Second Amendment. Think we need smaller government."
And the people who just religiously vote Democrat, they're like, "Oh yeah, that sounds good." Just
Well, he said
bobbleheading
that a lot of people-
along.
He said a lot of people told him, "I'm a Democrat and I believe in all those things too."
Man,
It happens
You know
a
what
lot
Ronald
in Philly,
Reagan
I
said,
think.
right? Ronald Reagan said, "I didn't leave the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party left me."
Right. Yeah. You do hear some people on the left saying that more now. That's more of a regular thing you hear from them.
well, we
One
went
of the things
over.
left comes out in support of today. The traditional Democrats just say, "What do you mean? No, that's ridiculous. I don't believe in that." No,
I don't think any of them say that.
I think some of them do.
Well, maybe some of them.
I think some people who identify as Democrats and have for decades hear a lot of the things the left comes out with today and says that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've
Bill
heard
Maher
that.
says that half the things they say are ridiculous.
Right.
Only half?
It
It's a
is still
bit
Bill Maher.
generous.
Yeah, he is still Bill Maher. That's right.
It's, it is interesting though to see the change. Things are just so far left and so far right. So
Yeah.
the division has been quite successful.
Well, we brought up, I forget which week it was, but we brought up that image that Elon Musk tweeted out where, the right side stayed where the right was and he was in the center. And then you have over the years, the left just moving further and further left. And apparently, that makes the people that were that were left of center more aligned with the right now than more with the left.
What the hell is that guy talking about?
You don't remember
He
that?
said you put the left hand in and the right hand out and you shake it all about.
I think that makes sense, but it also
I couldn't
makes
follow
right.
it. No, not
My
one.
hands identify as feet.
I'll
Mike.
bring it up. Hang on.
Chris, I got
No, and I think by
get
that
out of
same
town
sentiment,
here for a minute. Okay, Philly?
Okay, get out of town.
by that same sentiment, it also makes the right people look more extreme. The more left they go,
Right.
more even if you stayed right where you were,
Mm-hmm.
you just look like extremists.
No, it's
What the
true,
heck just
though.
happened to Mike?
He needed a moment. I think he had an emergency call on the hotline there. So, so you're taking over, Russ. It's your show now. Go ahead. What do you got for us, Russ?
Well, if that's the case, everybody go home. I'm kidding.
All right, that's about all the time we have, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in to the Mike G in the Morning Show.
Stay tuned for
Let's
We
take
the
it-
People. The Constitution matters.
Right. Look at the comments.
Some kind of chart.
We got something from Randy Schweiss. Hey now, Mike, why did you look like you were auditioning for the next Men in Black? Yes, nobody really said much about the sunglasses, but Mike was looking quite stylish there at the beginning of the show. We'll have to ask him to put those back on when he rejoins the program. Thank you, Randy. Hey now, Randy. And we got the number again. What's the number, Russ? You want to pop the number back up in case we want to take any callers? We got our new phone line available. And 484-429-9110. Call in. You can be on the program live.
There we go. Call in live. There's the number.
484-429-9110.
Yes.
So what do you guys think of the Twitter thing going on here with Elon? What are your thoughts, Liberty?
That could mean literally anything.
Donald Trump said that he's not coming back, I think. He said in the past, but I think there was a report today saying that Elon, or actually I heard the interview, Elon was saying he would reinstate Trump. It's like, duh. I mean, I hope he does.
Right.
You know?
Although I think Trump said he would decline the offer,
yeah,
right?
He would decline,
yeah. So that's interesting.
I don't know what's going on with Twitter, but I guess they're saying it's going to take a long time until it's actually implemented. Is that what they're saying?
I guess they're working on it. I did see a memo or something that Elon sent out to the Twitter staff basically saying get ready for a increased workload and I think some potential layoffs. So that'll be interesting. But he has done quite an effective job with his other businesses. And some of the analysts are saying that, the overall value of Twitter is going to go up significantly here in the next few years, which is most likely going to happen, I would think, once he gets his hands on everything and tweaks the platform, yeah. But
an underground tunnel on Twitter.
Yeah, right. Seriously.
It's something about, I saw one of his plans was like to verify certain people, like you pay money for Twitter Premium or something, and then
really?
Twitter Blue.
Check, yeah, you can get like a check or something on your name. But But yeah, it was funny for a while there. It was trending that people were saying they were leaving Twitter. Like, it's like, okay, sayonara,
Yeah.
Like a lot of celebrities and people like that were saying, okay, like I'm not going to be on Twitter anymore. It's like,
oh yeah, just like they all wanted to go to Canada when Trump got elected. Oh, see you later. Oh no, I'm not actually going anywhere. That's my bluff.
Yeah.
How I feel is it's about time, especially he's standing up and saying, hey, even if Trump denies it, the fact that he's up and making a stand, like I'm going to allow this guy back on, that they literally stripped of being on this social media platform that he had millions of followers. It's like they just were like, you're done.
Yeah.
And they took it away. If Elon is standing up in front of everybody, the whole world, risking, he has so much money and he's risking that his reputation, he doesn't care. I think that's great because he's being fair.
Sure.
And that's
Sure.
No,
it's a heck of a move. I mean, talk about a chess move. Kind of checkmate. But I suppose it's a reminder to these public companies, you got to watch what you're doing because somebody could come in and buy you up and change the rules right out from under you. So pretty wild.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for years we've heard, if you don't like our social media platforms, make your own. Well, Elon was like, I think I'll just buy my own, and I think I'll just buy yours. So shut up, nerd, and go home. You're fired.
Right. I think I'll just, right. Pretty much. That's it, Russ.
You're fired. This platform is mine now.
All right. Looks like we have Mike back. Is Mike back with us?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the host of the show, Mike G.
So I brought up this this image that I was poorly explaining earlier.
Yeah, what is this? Oh, yeah.
This is what I was trying to explain.
Right. Can everybody at home see it?
Yes.
Good.
I got to make it large on the screen.
Yeah, But anyway, it shows that from 2008 to 2021, the right has been in the same place since all those years, and the left has moved, and now they're way out on the left, calling everybody else a bigot. And those are the woke folks.
Yeah, I got that what you're saying.
Yeah. No, it's a good illustration.
Yes.
Actually. Yeah. I think the right's moved a little bit to the right, too.
I was going to say,
not
there are
as
some
much.
people on the right who are nuts these days. Come on.
Russ, where are you on this chart? Let's everybody point out where they are in this chart.
Russ is that puff of smoke behind the guy in the middle there.
You calling me a fart?
Poof. There he is.
Poof, there he is.
My fellow liberal. What does that say? My fellow liberal with a question mark?
Well, no, there's no question mark there.
Just say comrade.
Oh yeah, on the second
Hello,
one, there is.
comrade.
Yeah,
I see
now
a
it's my fellow comrade.
woke progressive. Okay.
Yeah.
Randy liked your glasses, Mike. While you were gone, I was reading the comments a little bit.
I didn't even have time to take them off. That's how little time I had.
All right. We're getting a
Get out of
call.
that. Get out of that
call
suit.
from
Too many
somebody.
hours.
Just in
that
time
suit.
for the show, yeah.
Too many hours in that suit.
Are you able to talk about what was going on today with the case? Probably not, I guess, or down the road maybe, or any high level.
Gentlemen, we have a caller.
Oh, fantastic. All right.
I think it's just in time for 2-week-old news.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go.
Oh, I wasn't.
Wait,
Tyson
before you get started, do we have that thing,
Yeah, hang
Russ,
on.
real quick to play for John?
Hang on. Wait.
Oh, do we have a theme song? Do we have a 2-week-old news theme song?
Uh-oh.
Did a little something. We'll see. We'll see if people like it, but
What?
okay.
Wait. Okay.
All right.
Okay. I gotta build this into the PowerPoint at some point.
Okay.
Here we go. Here we go.
All right.
This is the 2-week-old news. It's time for 2-week-old news.
John, you couldn't see that, but they had a whole graphic and all. So take it away.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
Sweetness. Okay. Got a couple good ones for you today. Tyson punches plane passenger after bottle is thrown.
Get out of town.
Get out of town.
That's
No way.
crazy. And
Was there a
first
tiger
Chris
there?
Rock and Will Smith, and now Mike Tyson's beating up passengers. I bet the guy deserved it.
Who would have thought? Yeah.
Yeah, the guy had a shocked look on his face.
How could you possibly be shocked by that, right? Growing up, we'd always joke about the last thing you'd want to do is irritate Mike Tyson. Be in a
Right.
situation where
Yeah.
you're fighting Mike Tyson, and this guy is seemingly doing everything he possibly can to get punched by Mike
Wouldn't
Tyson.
it? Yeah.
And then it happens, and he's sitting there, his like bottom lips quivering and stuff. He's crying that he just got his butt kicked. Like, what did you expect?
It's like going up to Mike Tyson and say, "Hey, Mike, why don't you punch me?" And then he punches you, and you're like, "Why'd you do that?"
Yeah, I talked about this at my seminar last night. We were doing Gun Owner 101, and I was explaining that sometimes gun owners, that the longer they've owned firearms, they become too complacent, and they figure just because something bad has never happened, it never will happen, so they don't follow every single rule every single time, and that's a serious problem. And people
Yeah.
always say, "Oh, well, I'm not afraid." Well, sometimes a little bit of healthy fear is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
As
Yeah.
fear keeps us alive sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes
right.
having no fear in certain situations just means you're a moron.
Right,
That's all.
right.
And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
kind of like that movie with, I think it's called The Grizzly Man documentary.
Oh, yeah,
Movie.
that was crazy. Right.
Oh
Documentary.
my god.
And they have this
Yeah.
guy who's living in the woods with these bears,
Mhm.
and there's videos of him like hugging them and kissing them and telling them how much he loves them,
That's
doing all these
weird.
activities. And spoiler alert for everybody, but I
He
think
gets
that if you've got the intelligence that God gave geese, you
Mhm.
know how this documentary ends. How does it end, Phil Chris?
Well, it ends in the middle of the night, and him and his girlfriend were in the tent, in just a little tiny little tent, and one of the bears decided to come and visit them, and that was
Well, I
it.
think that it ultimately ended with them fishing the guy's watch out of a bear's butt. Is how. it
Yeah,
ended.
well, right,
Oh,
pretty much that's where that
no.
went. Yes, yeah. I
And
remember
there's
watching
other
some of
ones.
that, and I was fascinated by it because I was just like,
It's like, what did you expect that?
right. I mean, these are grizzly bears; they're not
They're
dogs.
bears.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, but he was
Yeah.
hugging them, wasn't he?
He's hugging them.
He
and
showed 'em all
kissing
kinds of love.
them and
Mhm.
he's doing everything that a stupid person would do with bears.
Are you saying he didn't sit down to play chess or have a tea party?
Oh, he might have tried.
That was the problem.
Yeah, right. That's
Had he
exactly
just
what he
stayed
was
away
doing.
from the damn bears, then there
Mhm.
would be no issues.
The bear
Yeah.
flipped the table over and ate him.
Yeah. It's just crazy.
All right. So what else we got, John?
Twitter accepts Elon Musk's $44 billion takeover offer.
This is great.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
No kidding. This is going to be fantastic.
Really? Wow.
Maybe we could have a conversation 10 minutes ago about what this means.
I can't plan this stuff.
Great.
Oh, wow. Is he going to Donald Trump to come back on or what?
Yeah, right.
Don't.
We'll see in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We'll see in 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Hey, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, let us know. John will keep us informed, I'm sure.
That's great.
Yep.
What else?
Judge blocks Biden plan to end Title 42.
Oh. Let's talk a little bit more about this one. Because that.
Yeah, basically it's they weren't letting people across the border
Mm.
because of the spread of the turnup.
Oh,
God. The turnip. There you
turnip
go.
got out of
They
the
want-
garden.
See how smart this guy is? He
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
forget.
Very
Right.
smart.
Got a good memory.
Man, John. What else
Good
you got?
job.
All right. DeSantis signs Florida law creating election police.
Ah. This is an interesting one. I don't think we talk much about it.
No.
Chris, you aware of this?
I'm not actually. Election police. Tell us more about that.
It says that he signed voting reform legislation that creates an election police force that will give his administration greater power to investigate alleged election crimes.
Huh. That's
I thought there
interesting.
weren't any election crimes.
Well, now they have election police force to stop that from happening.
Wonder
That's
if they'll watch that
interesting.
2000. I don't want to say the whole name of it, but the 2000 donkeys.
2,000 donkeys. Why we get kicked off of YouTube for just saying it?
I don't know, but I just figured I might as well not say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who
It might be
knows?
one of those
But that's been
blacklisted
released.
words.
Has anybody seen that yet?
I have not.
We gotta watch that.
I do want to watch
I
it.
tried to watch it and it's very difficult to find. I think like Rumble was somebody on Twitter was saying watch it on Rumble here, but I think you have to actually go to the website and download it. So it's not on like Hulu or any of those
How are
platforms.
you going to watch it
Everybody,
on
I
your
think-
TV by doing that? That sounds ridiculous, doesn't it?
It's kind of
Hook up
hard.
a
lot of
computer
us
to
see
your
this is the thing
TV,
about it.
caveman.
You have to
Yeah.
order the DVD or something, guys. Like literally,
CD?
like, it's one of the-
Order the DVD.
Can you get it on
Order-
8-track
order
or
order the link. I don't know. I literally tried. It's very hard.
maybe
to
they have it
find.
on vinyl, Mike?
Do you
Maybe we
have
can
it
get
on
vinyl.
VHS? I'd like it to be on VHS, please.
Right.
There's
Super
some
8,
movie theaters that are showing it, like very small movie theaters.
Oh, yeah?
Some parts
Oh.
of the
So there's this one article that I've seen over and over again, fact checking the movie.
Oh,
Of course they are.
was it an independent fact checker?
Well,
Is
I'm
there
not so
always-
sure they're independent.
If by
But
independent you mean
yeah.
partisan and completely biased, then yes.
Yeah, well, they call them
Oh.
independent. They're
well, it's still important to look at that stuff because sometimes they're correct. No?
sure.
Have you
Yeah,
ever looked at a
sure.
fact check and said, okay, that's actually reasonable and it shows that the claim was inaccurate?
Yeah, but have
Zero
you ever
point
looked at it?
zero.
Have you ever looked at one
You
of the ones they
literally-
call
No, no, I'm
accurate and
kidding.
it's
Yeah,
complete
no.
BS?
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
the
guys, I
problem.
wasn't-
Really, you have to decide for yourself because fact
You have to
checking, you
decide
still
for
need to
yourself. That's correct.
fact check the fact check. So yeah.
That's right. You have to
Guys,
do
I
have to
Right,
fact check the
right.
fact check. That's 100% correct.
Right. That's where we are, 2022.
I'm
Mhm.
on the website and literally it does say buy DVD or watch later, buy DVD. Like literally, they're selling it on DVD.
Really? Okay. Interesting.
Well, that's
Well,
easier
you
for a
can't
lot
cancel
of
that
people.
if you get it in the mail.
I
Well,
think
maybe
Ben
they can.
Shapiro talked about it
Did he?
I
in his
believe he did.
program.
I mean, I've seen some
Yeah, he-
highlights, some of the trailer stuff, and it's
Do we
pretty
want to?
interesting.
How quickly can we get that DVD, Liberty? Can you check?
Can we order it? Like,
Yeah. So I was gonna say,
All
if you order it, when will it be here? Can we
but
watch it?
who's got a DVD? Who's got?
I've got a DVD player. You guys can come over to my place.
All right, we'll have to watch it.
How big's your TV, Mike?
All right. Hold on, I'm on
He's
the
got a little
trailer.
black and white TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got a little.
Bigger than the one in
Oh,
the
can you
garage,
buy-
Russ.
Yeah.
Jeez. Wait, I don't have a TV in my garage.
And the computer monitor where you had me playing.
I
Mortal
don't
Kombat
think
on
you've seen my new
Xbox
TV.
One.
I don't think you've seen it.
I haven't been to your place since the debates.
Guys,
Yeah.
Yes.
What's up?
if you order it, does like the government track you?
Yeah, I'm sure they're
Not
tracking.
paranoid.
Tracking
Hey,
everything.
listen, Liberty.
They
that
couldn't
ship has
track a
sailed
train.
for everybody on this program a long time ago.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. If any one of us is concerned about being on any kind of list, if there is a list,
like I
four
said
of
a
us
few
are
years
on.
ago.
We've already been very clear about our political views.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That ship has sailed for all of us. Could you imagine any one of us?
No,
for
but I.
the
What are
rest
they
of our
going to do?
lives?
Stop it from coming in the mail?
What'd you say, Mike?
Could you imagine any one of us on this program trying to get a regular job for the rest of our lives?
Yeah, well, forget about it. That's why I'm really pretty much out of the corporate world these days. Forget about it, right?
Forget about it.
You're like, oh, you know Mike G? No, thanks. You can try. No, thanks, but no thanks.
At least what you've got going for you is some people seem to think your first name is Philly and your
Right.
last name is Chris.
It's all by
There you
design.
go.
It's all by design, right?
Philly.
It is funny when people
No, it
call me
wouldn't-
that. Yeah.
It wouldn't be a Philadelphia Chris.
Right, right.
Philadelphia Christopher.
That's his formal name.
Philadelphia.
It's a,
I was-
his mom named him Philadelphia Chris, but they all
Right.
called him Philly. Only his mom calls him Philadelphia Chris when he's in trouble.
Uh-oh.
It's one of
When
those
he's-
hyphenated names like Mary Kate.
Exactly.
Philadelphia Center City Chris.
When he
I
was,
was
a
on
kid,
night-
if he heard his mom say Philadelphia Chris, he'd know he was in trouble. Oh no!
Big trouble. Wicked trouble. That was a bad day for me. Yeah, yeah. She would send me to New Jersey. It was so bad.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
That's like capital
Now that's a
punishment.
punishment.
Right, that's my brother's
brother's
name.
name.
Jersey, New Jersey. You know, call
Same
him
place.
NJ. Hey, NJ. I was driving on 95 the other day, and I looked up, and there was a big billboard, and it said, "Hey, Philly," and I was like, "Oh, look, somebody made a billboard for me."
What?
Somebody spent big chunks of money just to say,
Yeah.
hey, Philly Chris.
Right, right. Yeah.
I'm gonna get it shipped, guys. I must be so paranoid. I'm just being straight up honest. I can't even put my name. I'm gonna put a different name and a different shipping address.
Isn't
I don't trust.
You don't want to tell him your last name is Bell, right? You haven't said that on the air.
Yeah.
You could send it to the PO box or something.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Send
Yeah.
it to the state, not the station, the program's PO box.
Mm-hmm. There you
That'll
go.
work.
That will work.
It
But
says
it's amazing.
shipping, 2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks. Wow.
2 or 3 weeks? That's miserable. Are you
That
kidding
is pretty
me?
bad. Yeah.
It's probably faster to
There's a
go
couple
to
of
whatever
tracker on it.
headquarters
That's
they have and pick it up
horrendous.
yourself.
Don't order that. Don't give them any money. Tell Dinesh D'Souza. Figure it out, bro. Come
2 to
on.
3 weeks.
You want to know why the Republicans are losing?
Right.
Guys,
Yeah.
guys. They
But then
also,
it'll be 3-week-old news too.
Every 3 weeks old.
Yeah.
Seriously.
guys, they
You
offer
got Jeff
it as a
Bezos and his
download.
liberal rag, the Washington Post, getting things there the same day, and our
Right.
side is getting things there and getting DVDs. So obsolete
Hmm.
technology, you got to wait 3 weeks.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Oh my goodness.
Guys,
What the?
It's
guys,
the world we're living in now.
You
Russ,
can-
you're
This
trying
whole-
to interrupt what?
you can download the movie. You can pay for it
Oh.
and download it. That's why the DVDs take 3 weeks. It's like, oh crap, now we got to make a DVD for this guy.
Hmm.
It shouldn't take 3
Download it
weeks
Onto what though? Don't most people have a way to
Russ.
on a
movies
computer.
Yeah, but you're gonna sit there and watch it with your pals on a computer.
No, you hook your
I wonder if you
computer to
can
the
burn it.
TV.
You
You
can get
hook the computer up
projectors
to the TV.
Yeah, with an
Really,
HDMI
Chris, don't
cord,
say
like
that.
you would a
HDMI.
DVD player.
What's that?
for burning it.
Well, you might. Well, if you have the rights to it, maybe you could burn it. You know what I mean?
Philly
If you're
Chris
buying
is,
it.
I mean, I guess you could burn it to a DVD.
I have a projector. I can bring my projector over.
Chris.
Philly Chris sounds.
Chris, that's not a
Staten Island.
projector. That's an 8mm.
Well, that too. I have that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say a projector. We can do it like old school style.
Oh,
That'd be cool.
jeez.
Do it on the porch so we could smoke cigars while we're watching.
Actually,
There you
that's
go.
that's
There you
what
go.
you should. Actually, that's what we're gonna do on your porch. The
Oh,
projector. You could carry it in and
Projector.
out with the screen.
there you
and
go.
get
That would
the.
be even better.
That is actually a great idea. I mean,
You don't
there's
need
Yeah.
a
speakers
screen.
out
Put
there.
it on the side of the
Totally
house.
set that up.
Make it a neighborhood watch party. Put it on the project it to the side of your house.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, just have a. You could have a tension screen too, which is pretty cool. We'll figure it out. Gonna get it all figured out.
So
All of that, yeah.
back to 2-week-old news.
Yeah.
3-week-old
Time
DVDs.
flies when you're
Yeah.
having fun,
Yeah.
John.
Okay. Judge holds Trump in civil contempt.
Ah.
Oh
So,
my.
has anything happened since 2 weeks? I'm kind of curious, or do we got to wait another week or two for you to tell us?
Yeah.
You gotta wait 2 weeks for
A couple weeks.
Okay.
Okay.
tell you.
All right. There's rules
But
for
he's
2-week
being
news.
fined. He's being fined $10,000 a day until he hands over materials asked for in the subpoena issued by Attorney General Letitia James from New York.
I mean, he's got
I
enough
guess that's what
money.
they say her name.
So what I'm seeing here is there's a CNN article saying Trump says he has no Trump Organization cell phones and asks judge to end contempt fines. Former President Donald Trump says he no longer has 4 cell phones identified by the New York Attorney General's investigation into the Trump Organization's finances, but has turned over his personal phone to be searched as he tries to convince a state judge to lift a civil contempt ruling that so far has cost him $140,000. Hasn't he lost a ton, or didn't he get fined a bunch of money on this flag and he fought it? Do you remember that? In Florida, he was raising the flag and they told him that he couldn't raise the flag that high or something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
In an
Was that a
affidavit filed with the
Mar-a-Lago
court
or
Friday,
something?
Trump said I think so.
Yeah.
In an affidavit filed with the court Friday, Trump said he doesn't currently have any phones, computers, or electronic devices issued to him by the Trump Organization, and that he has authorized his attorneys to search his homes in Bedminster, New Jersey, his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida, and his personal residence in Trump Tower for any documents sought by New York Attorney General Letitia James subpoena.
Mhm.
Trump's filing is his latest effort to try to end the $10,000 per day penalty that has accrued to $140,000. The judge previously rebuffed an earlier affidavit from Trump saying it was completely devoid of any useful detail. Trump has also appealed the contempt ruling. In the new filing, Trump said he no longer has a phone given to him by the Trump Organization in 2015, 2 flip phones, or a Samsung phone he brought with him to the White House that was taken from me at some point while I was president.
Okay.
You're not
Who
allowed
took
to
them, I
tweet.
wonder?
We're taking your phone.
Yeah. Right.
No more being mean.
How does that work? I would be interested to hear somebody who's done that type of security.
Mhm.
What do they do with personal devices when somebody's elected president?
They
Good question.
smash him with
I think-
hammers.
Do they give
Didn't
up
Obama
personal
have a
devices?
BlackBerry? I think Obama had a BlackBerry, but I don't think they're around anymore, right?
Personal
No.
BlackBerry?
Well, I don't know if it's
I thought
personal.
it was
or it's
Hillary Clinton. I
issued
thought
or-
that was Hillary Clinton.
Hillary
Could
had
be.
them too. There's more than one BlackBerry, Mike. They
I
make more than
understand.
just one.
I understand, but I don't remember there being a thing about Obama's BlackBerry. I remember there being a thing about Hillary's.
I thought I remember he loved it and he wanted to keep it or something, but
He
then they were
probably
no longer
smashed it with a
to do
hammer.
Gotcha. Hey, I suppose. I guess there's one thing that Mike G and Obama had in common after all.
right. There you go. Here it is. Obama gets to keep his BlackBerry 2019. President Barack Obama will have a beloved BlackBerry with him in the White House for personal use. Personal use. Okay.
Oh,
There you have it. Yeah.
interesting.
Hmm.
I held on to that thing for as long as I possibly could. It had the physical keyboard on it and everything.
Right. Yeah. A lot of people really liked
Loved
them, and I think they were more secure than other devices, from what I've heard.
Right.
But then again, what's really secure anymore?
They switched over though when they started to try to
Hey,
compete
now.
with the other smartphones. They switched the way
Mhm.
they had everything, and once they got rid of the digital keyboard and got rid of that, the way they they ran their operating systems. Kind of like, what's the point? You know, you're just
Right.
like everybody else now. You
Right.
had something that set you apart.
Mm-hmm.
You made yourself like everybody else. And now you're just an inferior version of the competition.
I think a company would serve themselves well right now if they just came out with a super basic like flip phone, like that original Motorola phone that came out years ago. Maybe there is one.
Oh,
And I just
Elon
am
Musk
unaware
is
of it.
going
Hold
to.
on. It's our weekly interruption. Do
Oh,
not
yeah?
say any curse words. You were on
Oh,
the air.
no.
Congratulations. You have made the list of my closest friends and family members who only call me while I'm on the air.
Would you believe I called because I saw that you were on the air?
Oh, I don't believe that for a
Tell
second.
him to use the
sir.
official call-in line.
You could have called the call-in line then.
When I hit send on my car, the Mike G in the morning went on pause so that the phone could pick up on the car. Because I was going to say some obscene thing or chuckle if you answered, or if you didn't answer, I was going to screw around because, you know, I saw you moving around.
That's what you do. Well played, sir. I will give you a call when I get off the air.
Goodbye and good night.
Unless you have anything else you want to tell the audience.
Nothing revolutionary, just no, I'm gonna be reserved.
That works too. I'll talk to you later.
Call the hotline.
That was fun.
That was great.
Who was that? Or can you not
That
say?
was Brian.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Should I throw the number up on the stream for everybody in case they want
Yeah,
to call?
throw it back up there. Why not?
All right.
You
People can
shall.
save it for next time.
Russ sounded very proper.
You know what time it is.
And restarting the show.
Yeah.
That was my bad.
I bet.
You know, this photo viewer thing in Windows, it makes no sense.
What don't you like about it, Russ?
It plays videos. It's a photo viewer.
Oh.
I thought I would, you know, scroll through the JPEGs that are on the desktop. No, it wants to play video.
Let's talk about Blackberries again.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I had one buddy
Elon
in law
Musk
school.
will bring-
And one buddy, Lorenzo, in law school, also loved the BlackBerry.
Oh,
And we
jeez.
hung on to them as long as we could. And I remember, must have been till 2017, probably. I still had it.
Okay.
And I went into the Verizon store
Oh, no.
to get a phone for something for a family member. And I was like, well, I'm in here. You know, I've been having problems with my BlackBerry. They're like, BlackBerry?
What's
I said, "Yeah,
that?"
don't give me a hard time. I like the thing. I'm not getting rid of it. And I said, so what it's been doing is, and I put it on the counter, and the thing
Yeah.
just goes black. Like, completely turns off. And the guy looked up at me. He was like, dude, you sure you don't want a new phone? And maybe this is a
Sure.
sign. Maybe it's time to let go.
So
But
somebody.
you're correct though that if you had a totally basic sort of thing, when I got in that wreck and I had the concussion and I was
Right.
forbidden from looking at screens for a period of time,
Oh, yeah, that's
and I
right.
could
Yeah.
only do the phone calls for a few
Right.
days.
Right.
Absolutely refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
Like something that most of us never experience these days. A few days away from screen time, no texting,
Absolutely.
no surfing the internet on your phone,
Right.
none of that. No email.
I make a point.
How'd
now
you
to
even
spend
survive?
time away with- yeah. This is the problem, Russ. That's the problem. Yeah.
I
We can
survived.
survive without it. Yeah.
All right,
we
we
can
have-
survive without them. I think we were doing better without them, actually.
We have somebody.
Yeah.
Not
We
sure
got a caller?
who.
Hello.
Who's
Hello.
this?
You're on the Mike G in the Morning program. What's on your mind?
Hi, my name is Latka, and I normally drive a taxi, but I just seen an ad on Craigslist for producer of the show.
This guy sounds like Stitch.
I can drive cab. I can do lots of things. I can produce shows.
Well, you are in luck.
Just so happens.
I need a good producer job to support my 9 children and my 3 wives.
Did you say that you saw the ad in Craigslist or on the restroom wall?
No, I was sitting in my cab waiting for a job, and I go, I scan through internet and go Craigslist, mostly looking for the women, but I find a job. And I think I can do this job. It's going to be so much fun. I will send you my resume, okay?
Send the resume, and
thank you.
We'll be sure to consider you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, Shukariya.
I appreciate you reaching out.
We're getting a lot of good responses from the ad.
Sure are. So we still got 2-week-old news with us?
Yes, we do.
All right. You better be careful. It seems like people are auditioning for all the roles on this program. Might have somebody else calling in saying there's only one guy who can do the 2-week-old news, though.
Right. That's right.
I don't think there's any question about that. What else you got?
We got California man accused of threatening Merriam-Webster Incorporated over gender identity language.
Wow. Threatening them?
Yep.
This is actual news.
Mad.
I think that we should have a question after every headline. The question should be 2-week-old news or actual news.
Or actual news.
And when I say actual news, it means 2-week-old news or just news. And if it's just news, that means, hey, maybe this came out a few weeks ago, but I didn't hear about it, and it's news to me.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Chris? Is this 2-week-old news or just news?
This would be just news for me as well,
just
Mike.
News.
Yes.
What about you, Liberty?
News.
Just news. How about you, Russ?
I'd say it'd be just news. I'm not really in tune with. Would that be considered a frivolous lawsuit if that went through?
Did he say sue them or threatens them?
Threatens. He's
okay.
actually, the guy that threatened was actually arrested by the feds.
Oh, so he wanted to fight him.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Oh my God.
So what did
he threatened? Well, he got he went on. He used a username on one of their message boards saying there is no such thing as quote unquote gender identity and he was saying that because they used the term female. And then he said the imbecile who wrote this entry should be hunted down and shot.
That counts as a threat?
The individual who wrote this entry should be hunted down and shot?
Yep. Over because they mentioned female in the dictionary.
Okay.
Oh, geez. Well, the dictionary isn't a biologist, so no one can really define female.
Interesting.
It's because they use gender-inclusive language.
Man. I mean, if he says that there's no such thing, then why is he getting upset? It's just this revolving door of stupidity.
Right. Yeah. A lot of stupidity going on. It's everywhere now.
Oh,
it's like a disease.
John found some good.
Right. Just like a disease. Just like that.
I got another good one for you guys, too.
Let's hear it.
Supreme Court revisits case of coach who wanted to pray on football field.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I do remember that.
All right.
Do we know the outcome of the revisiting of that?
We know the guy lost his job for praying on the 50-yard line, which basically was a violation of the school district's orders. Apparently, he sued the school district. And apparently this has been going on for a couple of years. And now And now the court newly expanded, I guess they did a vote on it. They expanded the vote 6-3 conservative majority that has been strongly protective of religious rights.
Mm-hmm.
Guys.
And then 4 justices expressed some sympathy for the free speech arguments.
What was that, Liberty?
And decided it was a premature ruling.
Oh, premature.
Oh, well, guys, that literally is 2-week solid old news because I literally brought it up on the 428 show as an article.
Well, there
so
we have it.
Wow.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But isn't that like actually? Oh yeah, that was 2 weeks ago, literally. Yeah.
John's listening. John's going back and listening to Liberty from 2 weeks ago. That's what happened there.
I guess that's the easiest way to do it, right?
It is easy. Yeah. Liberty always has good articles.
John, you could just go back to the doc and just pull.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I think that's a good story. I hope he wins on that.
All right. I'll be right back. Get out of town. I'll be right back.
All right, you got it. What else?
That's all I have for right now for 2 weeks.
All right. Well.
Oh,
well.
Wait a minute.
We got the
more.
bonus. The bonus 2 week old.
You forgot the one in the chamber.
The one in the chamber. Sanders Ocasio-Cortez headline Amazon union rally.
Ah. Interesting.
And then they said working people are sick and tired of falling further and further behind while billionaires like Bezos become much richer, Sanders quoted.
Yeah,
Bezos?
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah. You know,
So
the guy with the rocket.
Bezos' money.
The guy with the rocket, who when he came down, he said, "You paid for this."
Oh, he owns a $5 million yacht, apparently, according to Bernie Sanders.
Does he own any bored apes?
Doesn't Sanders own a bunch of his own stuff, though, whereby most measures he's pretty well off?
Oh, yeah, he's a complete jackwagon.
Yeah. Most people would look at him and say, hey, you got more than I got. Give me some of that, right?
Well, if you notice,
Isn't that how socialism works?
He transitioned from going after the millionaires to, we got to go after the billionaires. Because it's like, oh, crap, I'm a millionaire now. What do I do? Billionaires. There we go. That'll take me a while to get to there.
Wow.
All righty.
Well, those are some ones, John. John came up with some good articles.
Anything else for the good of the order, John?
I think that's it for right now.
All right. Well, thank you, as usual, for an excellent segment bringing us the 2 week old news. Thank you for your service, sir.
No problem. Anytime.
Godspeed. We'll see you next week.
All righty.
For those of us just tuning in, you're listening to Mike G in the Morning with The Law Matters, only on the Freedom Station, WFYL. What else we got, Liberty?
I have a bunch of stuff. It's been a wild week. I mean, it's nonstop with the Roe v. Wade leak, right? And things are intensifying, which is kind of what we saw with the BLM movement. Kind of like things started intensifying week by week and getting worse and worse. And, I see the news putting it out there. So I'm like, okay, I'm keeping in mind like what Philly Chris is saying. I'm like, is it really that bad? Are the protests going to get that bad, right? But what happened was, and it's been all over the news, so the more you see it, the more you're thinking about it, then it blows out of proportion. But the protests went to the specific Supreme Court justices' homes in their neighborhood. And so I feel like that's like everybody saying that's crossing a line, I think they went outside of Brett Kavanaugh's house and Justice Brown's house or something like that. So I do have a video of it, of the protests that were there. Ross, I did put it in the doc. I don't know if you guys want to see it. Russ?
Yeah, I'd like to see it. Let's check it out.
I can bring it up. Hang on.
Okay, it's under Liberty. It says protesting outside Chief Justice's homes.
Okay.
The YouTube. Coming to a neighborhood near you, hopefully.
Yeah, right. Back at the craziness again, huh?
I know. Yeah, I feel like it's just round robin, right?
Mm-hmm.
From one thing to the next.
Right.
All right. Give me a second. Here we go. All right. And we're playing the full minute and a half, yes?
Yeah, it's not
All
that
right.
long.
Do it live.
Did not stop dozens of pro-choice protesters from taking to the quiet streets of Chevy Chase, Maryland, to make one thing clear.
You don't get to take away my bodily autonomy and enjoy your Saturday night at home. You can do one or the other.
First stop, Justice Brett Kavanaugh's home, where they were greeted by Montgomery County police officers. Then they headed over to Chief Justice John Roberts' residence with a similar message.
Hands off our bodies! Hands off our bodies! Hands off our bodies!
Lacey Wooten Hallway, who has had an abortion and is a sexual assault survivor, has been holding candlelight vigils in front of Justice Kavanaugh's home.
Can we just take a moment to look at how unsafe that looks? If that's an actual flame.
Underneath the plastic poncho.
Bunch of morons.
It might be a battery. It must be a battery operated.
I
one, but
hope
that's a
it's
good point,
battery
Russ, yeah.
operated for the safety of these people.
Right.
You
It would
know,
have to be
they have a
otherwise.
right to
Yeah, it wouldn't
protest.
look like that if it were a real fire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it would, but then again.
No. You can never underestimate the stupidity of people. I'm just going to throw that out there.
No, you're right, Russ. That was a good comment.
All right, here we go. Playing the rest.
Looking out for their safety. That was very
But
thoughtful.
since the
of you.
draft opinion indicating the Supreme Court is poised to overturn Roe v. Wade was leaked, the crowd keeps growing.
If you take away our choices, we will riot.
Organizers say that some residents have called their protests disrespectful because they're bringing politics into their neighborhood. But Emily, who lives in the community, says that the stakes are too high when the constitutional right to abortion is on the line.
Who got
Such
the
a
South Park
high-stakes
guy to narrate
situation
this?
that
Really?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's good.
Yeah.
if, it's a little bit noisy in the neighborhood, in comparison to what women in this country are facing, it's really not a big deal.
Protests will continue throughout the upcoming week. The next one is scheduled in front of Justice Alito's house.
Oh, I'm so glad it's scheduled. That's convenient.
Now, in this Chevy Chase neighborhood, it will be Wednesday at 7 p.m.
Great. Thanks for telling everybody when and where to protest. That's not going to stop them from, breaking. I'm sure it's against some kind of law to protest outside somebody's personal property, right? Mike, you're a lawyer. What do you think?
I think for French fry when you're supposed to pizza, you're gonna have a bad time.
Bad time. Some people
Rafael
call it a
Sanchez
Kaiser
Cruz,
blade.
WUSA 9.
What a
I call it a
moron.
sling. I call it a sling blade.
Jeez.
Do they understand the issue here? If you take away our bodily autonomy, because the Supreme Court, by bringing it back to the states, saying the federal, it's not a constitutionally protected right,
right,
and therefore we're not going to strike down state legislation.
I don't
That's
think
the
these
Supreme
people are
Court's
aware of
fault.
Of
Wouldn't
course.
the legitimate, if they did have a gripe, right? If they did have a gripe, wouldn't it be with the state legislature?
If
Makes
these
sense.
people were actually educated on it, then
No.
yes.
Yeah, you could tell by their signs they were highly educated.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't let me kill my kid, I'm gonna riot.
It's not even that,
it's such a tantrum, right?
Right. You can't have a peaceful night.
Mom, if you don't let me go to the mall, I'm gonna kill myself.
Jeez.
I'm gonna scream.
Right, I'll do it now.
I'm going to scream and it'll be
Then I'll
loud
tell
and
the
I'll
police
stomp
you
my
killed me.
feet. And I might even wake the neighbors.
You're not
Shop and
having
go
a
to your
peaceful
room.
night, Philly, Chris. That's for sure.
No peaceful nights for me.
That was funny.
Not in Philly.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So that's what's going on. Is they're rioting. It's all over. That's just one example. But I mean, and I guess not Obama. Joe Biden has
May as
not.
well be
Anybody had creepy vibes from those people, though? No.
Guys.
Anybody?
Yeah, but guys, Biden hasn't condemned it yet per se. Of course, the retiring press secretary Jen Psaki, who is retiring. That's other news.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But she
Is it really considered retiring?
Yeah,
She,
right.
like, gonna go move to Florida and play golf all day?
Yeah.
Doesn't she get a lifelong pension now or something? Maybe you could call it retirement, you know?
Right.
I thought it was kind of funny because she's just,
She's going.
she's getting off anyway. But yeah, so Jen's retiring, but I heard her, and her response to it was kind of like, we don't, we obviously don't suggest anybody does anything not, violent or something like that. But I guess they're really skirting around, like saying don't go to people's houses and condemning that part of it. So I don't know.
Well, when that was happening before, they were blocking off like some of the Democrats were having the police block off certain blocks around their homes. Remember that? When there was
how would you guys like if there was a violent or not? How would you guys?
I mean, I don't think it's a great thing to do, really. I think, the question is it legal or not? I suppose under your First Amendment right, you could do that as long as you're not on their property, right, Mike? If you're on public property. But I think it's kind of screwed up to go to people's homes.
No, Chris, I think
that's
there's
right.
a federal law that protects judges in cases or something like that. So
okay.
They should be federally protected or something. I don't know, but if you think
right, Mike, under sidewalk code.
Is there an ordinance for that, Mike, or something?
What, you didn't learn the Chevy Chase, Maryland sidewalk ordinances in law school? What are you talking about?
Well, I know they they have an ordinance against firearms on sidewalks, I think, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest, like a lot of these people are spewing, they say it's peaceful and there's vigils and stuff, but like, it only takes 1 second, as we've seen with, Rittenhouse, as we've seen with the people who had the guns and were protecting their house. What were their names again? The McClockies?
Yeah, right.
Busters, I don't know. But it's just a recipe for two opposing issues, even if it was like their wife holding their kids, like walking out of the house, like who wants that? It's just, it's a recipe for disaster.
Sure.
So, I don't know. And like the signs are pretty vicious sometimes. And these people are fighting for what they think is their literal, quote unquote, rights to their body functions or whatever they're saying. Right. So like I don't put it past them to use some kind of violence or, even just tactics,
Honestly, from looking at that footage, it didn't look like anything was. I mean, obviously, like you said, anything can happen that can turn it violent, but it looked like they were just marching with signs. I'm pretty sure there's rules against, doing that outside a judge's house in order to get him to change his opinion. But it looks like it was actually, a peaceful protest sort of thing.
Could you imagine if there was an anti-Second Amendment opinion and all the gun owners went outside a judge's house and were protesting? They would be like, oh, this isn't a real protest. They're trying to intimidate the judge.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
This is an act of violence.
Yeah. I mean, I still stand by my stance, which is I think that it's a literal recipe for disaster, and these protests can turn violent in a second. And the signs that they put up, and they're literally, again, in their minds, are protecting one of the most crucial things to their bodies, right? So they are not, they're heightened. They're heightened. They're around a group of people. They're heightened. These are how these protests break out. I wouldn't want it outside my house. I'm sure the average person wouldn't. Why?
Well, I think there's a important distinction between what they think they're protecting and what they're actually trying to protect. They think they're protecting their choice, but they're not actually, if they live in such a liberal place where there's so many people that want abortions, they can elect representatives who put that in place. It's supposed to revert back to the states because it's not expressly mentioned in the Constitution. And I'm not a constitutional lawyer, but I do a good job of pretending to be one. sometimes.
Debates, guys. Like, if you guys seen these debates, it's like this is one of those topics that most people stay off of, with like family and close people, because it gets really, really heated really quick. I would not put it past this turning violent. And actually, if you want to see a debate, I put a video below that one of like another ridiculous debate of a girl debating somebody on what they're thinking. Like, you can get into the minds of these people who are wanting the abortions and the people who are trying to fight against it. But it's just, they get mad when they don't have a response. They get mad and they group up together.
Yeah.
Like, you can see the audience groups up with this girl when her answer is wrong or it's not holding weight. The whole audience gets on her side.
Well, yeah, I think it's more of a coming to her defense kind of thing rather than it's to rally and help the person in need, I guess. I don't know if you could, but how long is the debate? Do we even want to play the video?
It's very quick.
All right.
You don't want to play it? It's up to you.
It's up to Mike. It's not my show.
Oh yeah, Mike, do you want to play it or no?
I'm just the alleged producer.
Why not?
It is on TikTok, Russ.
Ew. Why? Why would you do this to me?
I couldn't find it somewhere else. It was good.
TikTok.
You'll figure it out. Randy said in the
that
comments.
last caller back on the line. Maybe he'll be willing to play a TikTok video.
I'm sure he will.
Where even is it? I don't see a TikTok link.
Randy said two things, guys. Chris, you want to read it?
Some comments.
Yeah, read it.
Yes, first comment. These idiots constantly cry about voters' rights, but they don't realize that if Roe versus Wade is overturned, that means they are given their right to vote back.
Yes,
gotcha.
Indeed.
And the second one was the other day, someone on the news said it's a felony if they're protesting for intimidation. So that's interesting. Okay. But seems like nothing really happens about it anyway.
All right, let's take a look at this idiot vertical video on a wide screen.
I have because I hear a lot of pro-lifers say that life begins at conception. So my poster reads, "Life begins when you understand living women matter more than potential babies."
What?
Can we not tell, though, from the first few seconds that this lady's a little off? No? Do you not get that impression?
No, she seemed perfectly fine to me.
I've got funny things that are coming. I'll just leave it alone.
No. Tell us. Please do tell.
No.
Share away, brother.
How do I turn on dark mode?
Oh. I'm exploding.
Idiot website. Built
Let
for
it out.
phones.
Let it out.
I feel like I'm underwater holding my breath right now.
All right.
I got that same sensation.
Should we just let the whole video play through, or do you want me to pause and play it? Should I be ready to pause
I might
it?
ask you. I don't know, depending on how crazy she is.
All right, fine. All right, here we go.
I bet the guy who called in about the job probably can pause things.
Shut up, Chris.
Here we go.
Here we go. Quiet on the set.
Conception. So my poster reads, "Life begins when you understand living women matter more than potential babies."
What is it?
Really profound.
What do you mean?
If it's a potential baby, what is inside of a woman?
It's a fetus.
Is it living?
No.
How can it grow if it's not living?
Actually, that's like saying if an acorn is a tree.
When does the fetus become living?
That's actually a good question, but that line...
Yeah, of course, because you don't know it. Because it's living. It's living.
How about you let her speak?
You're fundamentally denying science to validate your opinion.
You actively deny science.
No, you're denying science.
What science did I deny?
No, you're the puppet.
How long until they just start screaming
let's look
really
at some
loud?
posters over here.
But
you don't have to be here.
I need you to tell me what science. You just made an accusation that I denied science. What science did I deny?
That it's a child inside of you. It is a clump
Well, what is it when it comes out of you?
of cells when...
Moron.
I'm a clump of cells. What makes me different?
That you were born. You were born.
So you don't. What you're arguing is that anything that is not born is not valuable of life.
I did not say that.
You said exactly that.
It's subjective. So when does a child or fetus or clump of cells, whatever you want to call it, when does this clump of cells or fetus become living?
When it can sustain its own life.
But when is
can't
the
do that.
sustainability?
What about people on,
No,
on
when
like
is
heart
sustainability?
pumps or whatever?
For her, it probably hasn't happened yet.
Because how do you sustain life? Like my newborns aren't sustainable. You can't just have a newborn and they just live on their own, right?
Right.
They're not sustainable. They need help and assistance to survive. So
do people on welfare.
a newborn is a newborn not worthy of life?
So do people
Is a
in
newborn
wheelchair.
not worthy of life?
I have.
Oh, it started over. I hate that about
But
TikTok.
my sign.
But what about my sign?
Yeah, look at my sign.
My sign says
Somebody please tell that lady to put a shirt back on.
Wow. The one woman I thought was being pretty calm about it. She was doing a pretty good job of not heating it up too much, Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
she did great. Especially with how maddening they were behaving.
Yeah.
Well, that's my point, guys. That's the protesters. This is how crazy they get, and so they truly believe this, and they all gang up. So I would put a protest with all these angry women together. I'm just gonna say it. It could be.
Yeah.
I think it's more like phoning a friend when they don't know the answer and the crowd just shouts noises.
Yeah, they just kind of jump
it's
in.
I don't know. And then she turns around and the crowd starts shouting, this thing, that thing.
Who else has
30
a sign?
weeks.
Yeah, I don't know, 20 or 30 weeks. I don't know. Just kill it sometime in between that.
Yeah. These are the same people, by the way, that get all upset if, the protected animals' eggs are harvested. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
You didn't treat the chicken
You can't
right, so the
bulldoze
eggs
that
are
property
sad.
for. I mean, not that I really like harming the environment at all, but it's
Right.
You can't have it both ways.
What are you, Chris, a bear hugger?
Well, I like nature. I like nature.
I like both, guys.
Yeah, peace and love, man. Peace and love.
Well, anyway, so that's the mentality out there, guys. So
That is the mentality out there.
get your armor on and get ready to fight. Somebody said something in the comments. Chris, you want to read it?
Oh, sure.
kind of a little crazy, but
I don't even see it.
oh, you must
up
have
on my side, yeah.
Okay, you must have the censored on. Never
What?
mind. So, yeah, you have to go to
Live
the
chat.
thing.
What? Oh, I was missing stuff.
Russ
Okay.
taught me. It usually hides Gary.
I thought it was turned on, but Dag Nabbit. So we got looks like somebody new to the show, maybe. Dag Nabbit. Hey now, Dag. Judging from the mentality of most of these protesters, they don't need abortion. They need sterilization.
I was going to lead into something similar.
Uh-huh.
Can't they, the women on the women's side, can't they keep their legs shut? And the other side, the men, can't they get a vasectomy? And also the women, whatever I don't know what the procedure's called, but couldn't they get a woman vasectomy? Whatever that procedure's called.
Get your tubes tied.
It literally, that was one of the arguments we were talking about with Carla, was that the tweet was saying, this meme that was going around was saying, oh, it's if you're going to ask women not allow that, then we better get men vasectomies without them wanting to, because we're just forcing it on them and see how they like it. And that's one of those arguments. But
yeah.
Okay, so in the same sentiment of that, another news story that came up is surgeon attempting in India, first of its kind womb transplant into biologically male trans woman. I wrote as a must read, guys. So this came straight from the local 21 News here in Pennsylvania. They posted this. I mean, obviously it's more worldwide news, but they posted it. That's where I found it. And yeah, so there is a doctor attempting the first of its kind womb transplant. So very dangerous procedure, they said.
Where did the womb come from?
You think?
Willing to go above and beyond for science, guys, in the name of science.
None of that seems like a
Remember
good idea.
Frankenstein's monster?
I think humanity has just gone so far off the rails.
Russ, pull up the article.
Uh,
Because I thought I was like double seeing. I was like, wait, am I seeing this right? Like,
well, there is the baby emoji, the man baby emoji there.
Pregnant man emoji.
Pregnant man, yeah.
It was
looks
like a
like
predictor.
Bill Gates, actually. Kind of looks like Bill Gates.
I feel like the pregnant emoji was like a predictor for all this stuff coming, and I just feel like the news. I mean, is it like shock news, Chris, or is there? I mean, is there really a surge? I guess it is happening. There's a surge in India.
so.
That is like, this is my life goal. Like,
Oh, and there is that one article that I found fairly recently. Let me see if I can. Okay.
Yo,
ready?
this guy. Who does he look like? I swear he looks like an actor or something.
Hold on. So this is the article: 4 reasons you shouldn't eat bacon while pregnant, according to doctors.
What?
And then on the bottom it says, editor's note: we at Pop Sugar recognize that people of many genders and identities have vaginas and uteruses and experience pregnancy, not just those who are women. For this particular story, we interviewed experts who generally referred to people with vaginas and uteruses and experienced pregnancy as women. Glad we got that one out of the way.
We referred to women as women, and that's a crime.
My goodness.
Bunch of morons.
Oh,
you can't make
man.
this stuff up, folks.
reaction. Chris's reaction was classic. He's like, oh, okay.
So, is this is the dingus who decided he wants to transplant a uterus to a dude so that he could have a child?
No. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what? You know what? I can't say I'm not on board with this, because then that means that the argument that men will never know the pain of childbirth is completely off the table.
That is true.
Might stop working.
Unless this dude with the uterus is also considered a woman, then crap.
I had a mic malfunction for a second there.
But the same sentiment, like, world hunger, I'll use a liberal like logic, like world hunger got going on. Like, really, that's what you need to spend your money on, right? Or the research, like that.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that there's this now shortage on the baby formula?
Yeah, your mic's done.
There's a shortage on properly
can you hear
working mics, Chris.
Oh,
Have you tried hitting at it? Hitting it?
I don't know what. I've
Cursing
never done
at
that before, but all of a sudden it just stopped working. Hold on.
Russ, the best producer in the world. He makes fun of Chris's.
It sounds like you're the pilot or something that.
Are you re-entering the atmosphere?
Speaking. This is November 6348 Golf turning.
No, it's working. That doesn't work anymore.
Now it's working. So
yeah,
it
it's working properly. You don't sound like a pilot anymore.
Pilot.
It sounded like a pilot though.
No, you sound real when you
did.
do it. That's funny.
Till you fixed it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain
Chris.
speaking.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll be cruising at an altitude today of 34,000 feet. We're going to ask you to please maintain your seat, stay in your seat, and keep your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off.
Maintain your seats. Make sure you oil them. Oil the springs.
Just don't get up, will you?
You in the back, sit down. Oh, my donuts.
Yeah.
We have to have Chris like co-pilot the whole show. Like, he has to like do that for all the breaks and everything.
No, let's not.
So what else we got?
And we've landed. I had a couple more things. Something kind of funny, which was like this big thing trending on Twitter was Best Buy drafting for the NFL. Somebody tried to steal from Best Buy, and the workers lined up like it looked like a play in the NFL. It was actually kind of funny. It was really quick, but they all like lined up, and one came from like out of nowhere, and it was like they were blocking the guy from leaving.
Please tell me the guy got tackled.
I don't know. It was a very short clip, but it was so funny. Like, I was cracking up at what people were saying, and you can go on the link there, Russ. I put links for everything.
Put the link in there.
Oh wait, actually, don't put the volume on though, because there was a strange rap song that they added behind it, and it kind of cursed. So we can skip it if you want. That was just one thing that was kind of funny.
I can just turn the knob down all the way.
All right.
CB's in the house. Hey now, CB.
Where's it at?
It says BB drafting for NFL above where you are.
Oh, it's above?
Yep. Yeah, you got it. You're on it now. Oh. I'm watching you live time on the dock.
It's in the stupid vertical one.
Okay, well, deal with it.
Jeez. All right, here we go. Screen share. At least it goes full screen. At least it goes full screen. That's the only redeeming quality here.
All right.
It's very quick, but you have to replay it a couple times. It's funny.
Oh, wow.
They're just yanking the cord. Why didn't they just work together to pick up the table?
Hold on. You see the way they line up behind him? It's only for like a second. Look at it again.
Yeah, they all come from out of nowhere. It's funny. People were
right in that top left corner. Watch.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, like
Hang on, wait. I could probably pause it.
Yeah, the instant replay. We got to get like John Madden to do the X's and O's.
Right.
See this one guy flying around the top corner. He gets in position. This guy comes around behind him and boom.
Look at this. This guy's ready to block. He's like got his hands up and stuff. He's ready to fight them.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
He's ready to knock their block off.
We got to get that guy on the show. We got to figure out who that is.
Yeah. You can tell these people stealing stuff aren't smart. They could have, like, what was there, 2 or 3 of them? They could have just picked up the table.
I was just thinking that. You'd be better off just taking the whole table or something.
And, like, if they tried to block you, you just smash your way through them.
No, they really did not put any thought into that at all.
So, like,
clearly, they didn't go to crime school.
Guys, the NFL picked this up. Like Barstool Sports picked it up. They're like Best Buy employees lined up in cover 3 defense to stop them from. The Best Buy. Hold on. The Best Buy has a better defense than your favorite NFL team.
That's great.
It said, okay, we can confirm that select Best Buy stores will be hiring qualified linebackers.
CB said you can slow down the video in the setting, maybe.
Rumor
there
has
are no
it,
settings.
The Detroit Lions are now in negotiations to buy the entire Best Buy staff to bolster their defensive line. It's funny. I loved reading this. Sometimes Twitter has something really generally funny. Oh my gosh, Mike, somebody did the X and the O's. I got to post it on the doc.
Yeah, throw that in the doc. I want to see that.
That's pretty good. You're seeing this all the time, though, now. There's so many videos, yeah.
Yeah, it happened in Exton.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, why didn't they bring scissors or something? I mean, it took a long time, like, letting the defense...
Yeah, Liberty's like, these guys are amateurs. Amateur hour. Yeah. They never robbed the Best Buy before. Is this their first time robbing a Best Buy?
Right. I don't think that they, like, really came up with their strategy. I'm throwing it at the top there.
You know what? I think the Best Buy guy, maybe this is a problem in that particular Best Buy because they were prepared for this. That's what I gleaned from it. They were prepared.
Waiting for it.
They went right into
like,
position.
This is what we're going to do. We're going to stand here. We're
All right, I got
do
it,
defensive
guys.
tackle on them.
Yeah, it's at the top, guys.
Top right corner says CB. On YouTube.
Guys, it's at the top of the doc.
What just happened? The doc just...
CB know we're looking for a producer? CB?
Liberty, this is just an image.
There it is, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
It's just an image.
That's what Mike said. Yeah, it's just an image. Here's what Mike said. Mike said the X and those or whatever.
Pretty good.
Yeah, so I thought that was funny. Yeah, a little bit of funniness and all the craziness.
Jeez.
It's rare that you have a real funny moment on Twitter that everybody can kind of laugh with, right? It's not just a right or left thing. It's like this is just everybody finds it funny. So.
Are the liberals going to be like, well, maybe they wouldn't have had to steal the stuff if
if it wasn't strapped down?
If it wasn't for capitalism and the patriarchy.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Although in a lot of cities you can just get free phones. In Philly, they give them out all the time. I was down there at the Walmart not long ago, and right in the parking lot, they're just trying to give away phones.
Oh.
Service and everything.
Were they pre-stolen?
Just like a company that gives them out.
Maybe that's to just stop people from stealing from Walmart.
Well, it's maybe, I don't know.
Maybe they're like, hey, wait, before you steal this and like face fines and jail time, just take this one. It's free. It's on us. Just take this. Please go away.
Hey now. CB.
Yeah.
Give me a
And
call.
okay, so then the last stories I had from this week were
Give CB the call-in number. Can you not see it on YouTube?
Oh yeah, put that up. Maybe CB can call in.
the whole tweet with Elon Musk. He said, "If I die," he tweeted, "If I die under mysterious circumstances." It's
Oh,
been
that's right. Yep.
Yeah, and he got 1 million likes plus. It was great. But we were wondering, like, is it like going to be? Oh, Russ said it, but we were thinking it like, is it going to be a Hillary Clinton situation? What happened? Like, what's going on?
Clint aside.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Rep Marjorie Taylor Greene, or however you say it, she posted something and people were saying it wasn't acquitted. So I wanted Mike to read that. It was like a little decision there. I don't even know the story, to be honest, but if you read it, I guess. But people, then it was trending because people are like, that's not even acquitted. That's not what it means. So I was just curious what Mike thought of that.
What was this?
Rep Marjorie Taylor Greene. How do you guys say her name? Marjorie?
I don't know.
Marjorie. I think it's Marjorie, right?
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah. I like Marjorie better, though. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, Marjorie. It's a very good way to say it.
Good job, Chris. 10 out of 10.
She was in the military, wasn't she?
Yeah, so I don't know. There's a decision there. I don't even know what it was about. Something with the insurrection, I guess.
Mike, look, you're a lawyer. What do you think of this decision?
There was an insurrection?
No, but he didn't say whether it's...
They're trying to keep her off the ballot.
Yeah, I saw something about it, yeah. But she
the
beat
evidence
it, right?
was insufficient to establish. Gotcha.
Big surprise.
Evidence in this matter is insufficient to establish that Rep. Greene engaged in insurrection or rebellion under the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. Therefore, the court holds that respondent is qualified to be a candidate for representative of Georgia's 14th Congressional District.
Mm-hmm. So was she acquitted? Is that what that means? I don't know.
I mean, I don't think it was. It's not a criminal proceeding, right?
That's what was kind of confusing.
To keep her off the ballot, and the judge found that the people trying to keep her off the ballot didn't meet their burden. How about this other court case that everybody's paying attention to? Apparently, I guess people are sitting home and watching the Johnny Depp trial.
Yeah, I really haven't followed it that closely, but I've heard people talking about it.
I think they went on a break for a little while, but
did they?
All kinds of people are just sitting there watching it all day.
I'm guilty of this. I have watched analysts over and over again during my breaks from work and everything. I'm watching these body language experts, forensic experts. I find it fascinating. I like that part of it better because I'm just interested in psychology. But oh my gosh.
Yeah, what do you think of the whole thing, Liberty?
It's wild. I mean, my initial thought overall is that this would happen when you've got money, power, and all this stuff, and you're gonna meet women like Amber, and there's gonna be people there, kind of like waiting to suck the life out of you, you know, looking up to you like a movie star, and it's just this high life in Hollywood that the average person can't handle. So whether Johnny Depp is good or bad, it's the surrounding circumstances, it's the alcohol, it's the drugs, it's everything. So I definitely. The recipe for the average person can't handle that. Most people can't handle that in their life. They can't be around these parties and these craziness and these Hollywood tours. It's like not a real life, right?
Russ handles it pretty well, though.
Yeah. So it's okay, like we're here. This is crazy. It's just a Hollywood situation. But when you actually look at what's going on, there is some. It's a legitimate trial. I mean, it's he's suing her for $50 million for the op-ed she wrote. And this is a truly fabricated situation, which it sounds like in so many ways that it's completely fabricated. There's maybe like 20% of truth, maybe 10% of just their ongoing fights. She is so, she's describing vicious attacks that like you would see from like Manson. I mean, this person who comes to my mind, I don't know much about him, but It's like he's dragging her across the floor with broken glass, and he's slapping her and punching her ongoing and slamming things on the wall near her. And then he, actually raped her, supposedly, allegedly, with a glass bottle. You name it, she said he did it. And
my idiot brother.
Oh, was that the banana phone?
Yeah, it was. It was my idiot brother who calls me only when I'm doing a show.
Okay.
I'm in that boat with you, Mike. I forget. Dang it.
Yeah, so she's describing the most vicious attacks, and all she has to show. He has receipts. He has phone calls, recording. He has the receipts to show that
so
she was.
So he paid her to do all this, is what you're saying?
No, what? No.
You said receipts. You made it sound like a transaction.
Prove that she's lying. You mean?
No, to prove that she's lying. She's the aggressor. Has these videos and these not videos. He has recordings that apparently she recorded, but she recorded.
What do the injuries look like from all these things?
So that's what I'm saying. So he has receipts to prove his innocence, that she's the aggressor. However, she has nothing. She actually went on a talk show the day after he allegedly did this major incident. And all she has is like this tiny little things. You could barely tell, like bruise under her eye, but they're saying that she probably put makeup on or something. I don't know. I don't believe her at all.
Tiny bruise.
It's making women are coming forward who have been abused and saying that she's lying. Like they can tell, like that's what people are saying. I mean, everybody's different.
I had a case like this years ago. I represented this guy who was no longer in the military, but he was special forces. Like very, very serious stuff. I went to go meet this guy at a coffee shop because I was representing him, although I really didn't do work in the county at the time. And it was very far from where I lived. But his friend was a friend of mine, another veteran, and said, hey, would you consider representing this guy? He's in a whole lot of trouble. His ex-wife is accusing him of all these things. So I went to go meet the guy at like a coffee shop somewhere. And I swear I got 1 foot out of the car and he's behind me. He says, Mike, if that guy wanted to kill me, I would have I would have had zero time to react to that.
Right.
If you wanted to kill me in that moment, I would have.
He's like right in your ear as you're getting out of the car.
Good, 6'2", 225, just built like a brick wall,
I bet, he snuck up on you.
Like, absolutely a brick wall. And so I go with him to get him turned in because his ex-wife had accused him of all this nonsense. And we really don't know what the accusations are at that point. But to get him turned in and go to the preliminary arraignment where the judge presents you with the criminal complaint and the affidavit of probable cause. And we get the affidavit of probable cause. And she's alleging that he like grabbed her by the hair and slammed her head into the walls up and down the hall, and he punched her in the head repeatedly, and he kicked her and slammed her on the floor, all this stuff. And at the end, the police officer said something like, I did notice her injuries, a bruised ankle, a bruised ankle, and a bruised pinky. Hold on a second.
Hey, back up a minute.
Hey, look me in the eye and say that one more time. If this guy did to that girl what's alleged in this document, she would not be hurt. She would be dead. Not hurt, dead. And you got a bruised ankle and a bruised pinky, and that's what you're saying is your evidence that this all took place? No. And obviously that case didn't go very far.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. It's like she's describing the most vicious attack, and then she has like these, like a bruise that could have, I mean, it's so, I don't even see it. And then she's at a talk show the next day. I mean, you're talking about, she showed the bottle that supposedly he used, and it was like this big square bottle. And she, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen or heard. And she's looking at the jury the whole time, and it looks like she's trying to cry and no tears are coming out. And she's trying her hardest, and she's like gearing herself up for it with the breaths and hyperventilating. And it's just, I've watched a lot of behavioral analysis, and they all are just across the board are like, she is lying. No doubt about it. Every single thing that she does is proving that. And anyway, and they said it's like really awkward because she's staring at the jury and then like right in the eye, like for like the majority of her testimony. And somebody was like, it's like awkward for the jury. They're like, they don't know where to look because she's looking dead in the
like
eye.
Staring them down. Yeah.
It looks like such a movie role. And Johnny Depp, another thing, doesn't look at her. He keeps his head down the whole time. He doesn't look at her at all. And they said that he literally is looking like somebody who was like the battered one and the one that was abused. And because she's confident as anything, she's staring him, looking at him in the eye. She's looking for reactions out of the audience, looking for reactions out of things. And she kind of feeds off of the jury's, like energy. Like you can tell, like if she sees that she connects with somebody, she goes forward with them and then says something. Oh, like you know how that is, and it's so weird, guys. Like you have to watch it. I don't know.
How much longer will it be on?
So they're taking a break this week and then they continue next week. But it's like the most dramatic, fabricated sounding testimony I've ever heard in my life. And I can't even imagine.
It's amazing that this is so public, but like the Ghislaine Maxwell trials, like totally, no cameras and, nothing going on in the courtroom, nothing to see here.
So let me ask you this. How long has this supposed abuse from Johnny Depp been going on for? Or was this just one incident that he just decided to snap, allegedly?
Oh no. Another thing is she describes little details that people who are often lying bring up weird things. Like she's talking about this dirty carpet. She said like she was on the floor and he was just slapping her and slapping her and slapping her. Like, It was like, it didn't make any sense, guys. Like it was just the weirdest story. And she said she's on the floor and she's just staring at the dirty carpet and she's bringing weirdest little details.
That's weird.
Crazy.
But I think it's important, like, politically too, because what happened was she put this article out and I think she was trying to promote Aquaman, they say, but I think she was just thinking because of the Me Too moment that everybody was just going to believe her and she would not have to answer for these allegations.
Gotcha. Right.
Yeah.
But and also they're saying another thing is that they're saying it's believe all women with the Me Too, and this is a very example of like you can't just do that. And I think for all of you guys being on the show, like there are women out there who would make up these crazy accusations and you just have to be really careful.
Well, the place that I was going with this whole, how long has this been going on for is she never thought in this world of where you can readily just walk into a store and get a Wi-Fi camera that, you can just record from your phone, upload to the cloud, just save it in Google Drive or iCloud or whatever. She never thought to like buy a camera to capture any of this. Because that would be the first thing I'd do if I had, a girlfriend, fiance, or wife that was abusing me. I'd be like, okay, I'm going to order a Ring doorbell or something or some other cheap off-brand one and save it.
Well, there you
and
go.
Be like, this thing happened and I have it on tape. And if you'd like to defend yourself, have fun.
They'll have to fast forward through all the footage of you walking around naked in bear slippers, right?
Oh, jeez, Mike. Are you watching my cameras?
No, not that part.
There's full-on recordings of her saying, go ahead, Johnny, tell the whole world, Johnny, that you're a victim of domestic violence. Like she was poking at him and making fun of him. Right. And I think she accused him of a lot of things she did. But if you hear the recordings, if they're out there, you can hear her. He's saying he's trying to retreat. All he did was trying to retreat, and she kept going for him and blocking him from leaving and stuff. So it's intense. But anyway, it's interesting if you're into psychology to watch the testimony and see the reaction from the experts.
Well, I have an interesting insight onto because I have seen a little bit of it, and like you said, she stares at the jury whenever she's giving testimony, but she also does. I believe she's performing. She's acting. She probably practiced this at some point, but she doesn't say or and in my 9 years almost of doing radio, lots of people say it all the time, especially when they're trying to recall stuff. And she's doing it like she's memorized lines.
Right. Oh yeah. And it's like changes and she leaves parts out of it. It's you have to see it to believe it. There's just so hard, like remembering the little details that other people wouldn't remember from these incidents, trying to get herself to cry. The alleged abuse is extreme, monstrous stuff.
Why are
And
people
if that,
fascinated with this though?
she'd be in the hospital.
It's like drama. I guess it's like watching like a soap opera, like real live soap opera, like reality TV, right? I guess
Reality
Liberty.
TV?
Yeah, kind of like that. I guess.
Well, it probably has the same draw as
I haven't
the
watched
Kavanaugh
much of it
trial.
all. I've just seen snippets pop up on like my feeds, online. But
I personally like to watch because I think what's riveting about it is like she's lying, so it's like you're watching it because we've all heard the recordings. I mean, some of us have, me.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that next week is going to be the cross-examination, and I just would like to see Mike G in there.
That would be good.
He would tear it up.
You're a liar.
Well, I think the reason people watch this is for the same reason people watch Scooby-Doo. They're interested in the story, even though they know that it's a man in a mask. I'm not saying that Amber Heard is a man in a mask, but we know that she's guilty of just lying, outright lying under testimony, and it's a complete train wreck. And we just want to see the justice be played out, where the judge says you're full of crap. Also, you lied a bunch. Also, you're going to jail.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I'd like to have her put in jail. So
just throw that in there. All right. Anything else for the good of the order before we close it up for the night?
I think we're good. I'm good, brother. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Stick around for We the People Constitution. We got to say that's all. That's all we got for today, right?
Yeah.
That's all we got for today, folks. Stick around for We the People, the Constitution Matters. Pastor David Whitney, Professor Phil Duffy. I'll be joining as your legal analyst. We miss you, Ellie. Daddy loves you.